In recent times, vaping has become one of the more popular ways of consuming not just tobacco but also cannabis. Just like cigarette smoking, vaping is also addictive. In this video, I talk about the components of e-cigarettes, harm reduction, the effects of vaping on your body, and what current research shows. Hello everyone, this is Dr. A, Addiction Specialist. For more helpful videos, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification so we can continue to offer you free tips and resources on how to quit and stay smoke-free. Vaping involves the use of devices variously known as vapes, electronic cigarettes, e-cigarettes, e-cigs, pens, and hookahs. These devices heat up a liquid to create a vapor you inhale. Over the last several years, the use of electronic cigarettes has increased remarkably, especially amongst the younger generation. A US study done a few years ago showed that 3.6 million children in middle school and high school use e-cigarettes. For many years, nicotine replacement therapy has been used as a safer alternative to cigarette smoking in adults. Recently, however, vaping has become a more common harm reduction modality for both adults and teenagers. Even though some studies have shown vaping to be safer than smoking cigarettes, it remains harmful to the body and is associated with several medical conditions. While many vaping products typically contain about half of the nicotine found in a cigarette, this does not make them safe. You are still prone to various health risks from the effects of vaping. Vaping is a form of harm reduction. The aim of this harm reduction technique is to decrease diseases and death in smokers who are unwilling or unable to quit. Please note though that the ultimate goal should be to quit smoking completely if you want the best outcomes for your health. We do know, however, that due to the nature of nicotine addiction, some people may find it very difficult to quit while some are simply not interested in stopping at this time. This is where harm reduction comes in. Vaping devices come in different sizes, colors, and shapes. These devices produce an aerosol from heating up a liquid within the e-cigarette called e-juice or e-liquid. These come in many different flavors. The e-liquid contains 4 major ingredients. These are nicotine, flavoring, vegetable glycerin, also known as glycerol, and propylene glycol. Let's talk about the first component, nicotine. This is the same as found in cigarettes and affects the brain receptors in a similar way. When inhaled, nicotine gets to the brain in about 7 to 10 seconds. It attaches to receptors known as acetylcholine receptors. This causes a release of dopamine from the brain's reward center. The changes that occur in the brain chemistry lead to tolerance and withdrawals. Also, it is important to note that nicotine found naturally in tobacco leaf is generally considered to be a more stable form of nicotine as it is uncharged. This is not the case with nicotine found in e-cigarettes. The second ingredient is flavoring. The various flavors found in vapes are made from different chemical compounds. This can adversely affect your health. The third ingredient found in e-cigarettes is propylene glycol. This is an additive that is found in food, cosmetics, toothpaste, and hand sanitizer. The fourth ingredient is vegetable glycerin, which is obtained from vegetables. It is used as a sweetener and food preservative. The problem with having propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin in e-cigarettes is that they get heated up, and this changes these compounds to other chemicals that have a risk to the user. For example, vegetable glycerin when heated changes to acrolein, a chemical that can irritate your breathing passage. Propylene glycol also breaks down to formaldehyde, a known cancer-causing agent. So even though electronic cigarettes have only 4 major components, you're exposed to as many as 18 additional compounds when you vape. This is mostly due to the chemical process that occurs when you heat up the e-liquid within the electronic cigarette. Many of these new chemicals are associated with a risk to the human body. In addition, the type of metal used in electronic cigarettes also has consequences on your body. Sadly, vaping devices have also been used to deliver marijuana and other drugs. In fact, there have been overdoses and deaths as a result of e-cigarettes laced with fentanyl and other illicit substances. Lately, there has been an advancement in the e-liquid component of e-cigarettes. This involves using nicotine salt. Nicotine salt is sometimes known as nic salt, salt nic, or salt nicotine. Nicotine salt is charged. It also has a higher pH and a harsher taste. To make this nicotine salt taste better and feel smoother, it is combined with a chemical known as benzoic acid. What this means is that much higher concentrations of nicotine can be delivered by electronic cigarettes that use nicotine salts. This means that tolerance, withdrawal, and as such addiction remain an issue even for people who vape. Despite the fact that electronic cigarettes are not completely safe, most researchers agree that it is a safer option than cigarette smoking. Of course, the most significant benefit will be if you stopped smoking completely, considering that people who vape still face many health and safety risks. Some researchers show that the adolescent brain continues to grow until about 25 years of age. Nicotine is a stimulant which has been shown to harm the developing brain. Many vaping products do not show nicotine as a component. An adolescent who uses a product that contains nicotine can develop problems with impulse control, learning, attention, and mood. Studies are still being done on the effects of vaping, especially around vitamin E acetate. This is a chemical added to some e-liquids. It is thought that this chemical may have been responsible for several vaping-related injuries in 2019. To avoid damage to your lungs and other body organs, you are better off not vaping at all. For more tips on quitting cigarettes and living smoke-free, subscribe to this channel. I'll talk to you soon.